When you imagine running, say, an Airbnb or a vacation rental, you might picture it as, just handing over a key and then watching those 5-star reviews roll in.
Right, sounds simple enough on the surface.
But what if I told you that behind every really seamless guest experience, there's this whole world of precision planning, coordination, and honestly, just relentless commitment. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the fascinating week-long rhythm of Planbnb.gr. They're a property management company handling over 50 unique homes across Greece. Specifically, they operate the entire Kavala Homes portfolio.
Quite an operation.
It really is. And our mission today is basically to unpack what a real week in their world looks like. We want to transform that idea of property hosting from just a simple transaction into what it really is. A complex, curated experience.
Yeah, there's so much more to it.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's really see what it takes to make those guest experiences not just seamless, but, exceptional. Where do we even begin with a week like theirs?
Well, looking at their schedule, the thing that immediately jumps out is Monday, what they call a turnover marathon.
The turnover marathon. Okay.
Yeah. And that name alone, it kind of sets the tone for the pace and the precision they need right from the start of the week.
It sounds intense, especially if they're juggling dozens of properties. What does that actually mean on the ground? How do they manage that kind of orchestration consistently?
It's really all about synchronized logistic. So guests check out at 10 a.m. sharp.
Okay.
And their teams just move in with this remarkable efficiency. They often handle up to 10 homes, sometimes more, just on a single Monday.
Wow, 10.
And it's not just about speed, right? It's this meticulously choreographed process. They treat each property almost like a distinct project, but within a scalable system.
Can you give an example? Like, how does it differ property to property?
Sure. So take the Elko Luxury Maisonette. That's a full deep clean, obviously, but also pool inspection, terrace wipe down, double checking the Wi-Fi, making sure the kitchen is absolutely spotless.
Right. High-end property, high expectations.
Exactly. But then you contrast that with, say, the urban flat in central Kavala. The focus there might shift more towards restocking specific essentials, testing the smart TV because maybe it caters more to digital nomads, and ensuring the entryway feels really pristine and calm.
Different priorities.
Totally. And then out at Villa Ilia and Villa Sofia in Neapermos, it's maybe more about perfecting the outdoor living spaces, setting the seating just right, tidying the gardens.
Gotcha, so it's tailored.
Very much so. And this demanding schedule, it needs cleaners, laundry services, maintenance staff, the central support team, everyone working together, like clockwork, really.
Sounds like a military operation almost.
It kind of has to be. And then by 3 p.m., new guests start arriving, and they're always greeted warmly, with a smile, a fresh guidebook, and often a small, thoughtful welcome gift, maybe some local olive oil or something.
That scale is impressive, very efficient. But okay, after that really intensive physical setup on Monday, I imagine their focus must shift quite dramatically. How do they keep up those, personal connections when they're managing so many places?
Yeah, you've hit on a really crucial point there. Physical readiness is, of course, paramount, but Tuesday, that really highlights how they master the human element.
Okay.
This is where communication and those personal touches, they go way beyond just basic property maintenance. They're handling a constant stream of guest messages across multiple platforms, Airbnb, Booking.com, and also Stay Directly, which is their own direct booking site.
Smart. Cutting out the middleman sometimes.
Exactly. And the personalization here is absolutely key. So maybe a couple staying at Glara's bungalow gets a custom Google map pointing out quiet, secluded beaches nearby.
Oh, that's thoughtful.
Or for a family arriving at Villa Sofia, maybe they find a baby cot hasn't just been delivered, but it's fully assembled before they even get back from their day out.
Little things that make a huge difference for parents.
Huge. And maybe someone's celebrating a birthday at Clary's apartment, and they come back to find a surprise little cake and a handwritten card. These aren't just, nice gestures. They're actually critical building blocks for creating that felt like home experience. It turns guests into, advocates.
Yeah, you remember things like that.
You do. And alongside all this, they're doing proactive in-person property checks, topping up supplies, looking for any little signs of wear and tear, because, as they put it, preventing problems is always better than solving them.
Makes total sense. So Tuesdays sound like they're all about relationship building, even remotely sometimes, and just nailing those details. But then Wednesday arrives, and there are no check-ins, you said. So what happens then? Is it a quieter day?
Quieter in terms of guest movement, yes, but definitely not quiet operationally. Wednesdays are dedicated entirely to what they call their digital shock window.
Okay, the online presence.
Exactly. With no arrivals, it's a focused day for achieving digital perfection, which, let's face it, is absolutely crucial in today's competitive vacation rental market.
So what does that involve practically?
Well, continuously refreshing and optimizing how they look online, they might go photograph the panoramic penthouse specifically at sunset to really capture those amazing views.
Art. Show it at its best.
Or update Vita Beachside's profile to highlight new amenities. Maybe they've added a stylish beach umbrella or a new outdoor dining set.
Keeping things fresh.
And a big chunk of the day is dedicated to SEO strategy, search engine optimization.
Getting found on Google.
Getting found everywhere, making sure their listings rank highly, attract organic traffic. They really focus on identifying those high-intent, long-tail keywords.
What are those exactly?
They're those really specific, detailed phrases guests use when they're pretty much ready to book. Things like luxury villa with infinity pool, Kavala coast, or family-friendly apartment near Nia Paramos Beach. Much more specific than just Villa Greece.
Got it. Catches people further down the booking funnel.
Precisely. So they update all the listings across Planbnb, Airbnb, Booking.com, optimizing those keywords. The goal is really clear: attract more direct bookings if possible, improve visibility overall, and make sure the right guests see the right properties at the right time.
So they're definitely mastering the digital side. But then Thursday rolls around and it sounds like it's back to face-to-face stuff in a world where, self-check-ins and remote everything are becoming so common. I'm really curious. Why does Planbnb still make in-person hosting a priority on Thursdays? What's the unique value there?
Yeah, it's a great question. And what's fascinating is how they approach it. They recognize that, look, not every guest wants interaction. Some people just want the keys and to be left alone.
True.
But for those who do, they see it as this golden opportunity for a profound connection and a way to really differentiate their service. So on Thursdays, if a guest wants it, they meet them in person and they kind of go all in to enhance the stay.
Like how? What does all in look like?
Well, maybe at Villa Ilia, they'll personally walk the guests through the big garden, point out the outdoor shower, suggest the best spot for morning coffee with the view.
Okay, showing off the unique features.
Exactly. Or at Glaros House, perhaps they take a few extra minutes to patiently explain how the smart TV system works, avoid that frustration later.
Definitely helps.
Or maybe at Clary's home, they help an older couple with their luggage, and then instead of just leaving a paper map, they provide a curated digital list of their absolute favorite local tavernas, maybe with links or notes.
That's really helpful.
It is. And sometimes, honestly, it's just a simple conversation that leads to a glowing review later. Guests really appreciate being remembered by name, or being asked how their trip is going, or even getting a tip for a secret photo spot only locals know.
It feels personal.
That's the core of it. Their whole philosophy seems to be treating hosting not just as a transaction, beds for money, but as a genuine connection.
That personal touch really does sound like it makes a difference. Okay, so we've gone from the high-tech digital focus to this high-touch personal interaction. Now, shifting gears again, how do they use data? How do they optimize things and plan ahead, especially as they head into the weekend on a Friday?
Right. Friday becomes critical for the business side for any operation at this scale, really. This is where they shift focus heavily towards data-driven decisions and forward planning.
Okay.
And ultimately, this is all about optimizing revenue and anticipating future demand. They spend time meticulously reviewing performance across all their platforms. How did bookings look this week? Which channels are performing best?
And how does that translate into action?
Well, it directly informs their dynamic pricing strategy. For instance, if properties like Elko and Vita Seaview are showing, say, 95% occupancy for the upcoming weekend, those prices will likely stay high. No need to discount.
Makes sense. Supply and demand.
But maybe the urban flat has some midweek availability coming up. So they might apply a slight discount just for those days and maybe run a quick, targeted social media promotion to fill that gap.
Smart, targeted adjustments.
Exactly. They also track loyalty very closely. Maybe Villa Sofia just got booked for 10 nights by a guest who stayed last year. That highlights the huge value of consistency in keeping those repeat guests happy.
Yeah, repeat business is gold.
Absolutely. And a big part of Friday's planning is anticipating demand. They're looking at local events. Are there any festivals coming up? What are the ferry schedules looking like? And they even look at detailed weather patterns.
Weather patterns, how does that help?
Well, if they see a heat wave predicted for next week, they can proactively adapt their marketing. Maybe push the homes with pools or lovely shaded balconies a bit harder.
Ah,
Or conversely, if a rainy spell is forecast, they might highlight the cozy interiors, the big TVs with Netflix, making a virtue of staying indoors. It's about being proactive, not reactive.
Friday sounds like where the strategy really comes together, setting them up for the busiest part of the week. And based on everything we've heard, Saturdays must be the ultimate test of all this planning and coordination. You called it their big game day. How do they actually handle that pressure cooker?
Oh, absolutely. Saturday is, without a doubt, the big game day. It's the most intense day by far. Hosting on a Saturday becomes this, masterclass in logistics.
I can imagine.
It's a serious juggling act. You've got cleaners finishing up, maybe a handyman doing a quick fix somewhere else, new guests arriving at different times, a constant stream of support messages coming in, and coordinating all the check-in logistics precisely, all happening at once.
Sounds chaotic.
It could be, but this day really demands sharp anticipation and proactive problem solving. They need to fix issues before the guest even knows there was an issue.
Examples.
Okay, so for the Elko Maisonette, before guests arrive, it's not just clean, it's a final, full inspection, including a chlorine check for the pool right before arrival.
Peace of mind for the guest.
Totally. At the panoramic penthouse, maybe they know it's a couple arriving for a romantic weekend, so they'll leave extra wine glasses out and prepare a specific welcome arrangement.
Tailoring it again.
Always. For Gleros, maybe housekeeping reported a slightly leaky bathroom hose during the morning clean. They'll have maintenance replace it immediately so the arriving guests never even encounter it.
Preventing the complaint before it happens.
That's the goal. Or at Villa Ilia, perhaps they know a family is planning a barbecue that evening, so they'll make sure to add extra citronella candles outside to help keep mosquitoes away. It's those little thoughtful things.
Thinking ahead.
Constantly. And they have to do all of this while maintaining this perfectly smooth, friendly, welcoming demeanor for the arriving guests. The payoff, the real reward for them, is hearing guests walk in and say, wow, it's even better than the photos.
Yeah, that must feel good after all that work. So, okay, they survive Saturday's big game day. What about Sunday? Do they finally get to switch off, put their feet up, relax?
Well, Sunday is maybe a chance to catch their breath, but relax might be stretching it a bit. It's more like a crucial operational recalibration. Rather than truly stopping. You never really clock out completely in this business.
Always on call, huh?
Pretty much. Sundays are definitely slower, but they always start by meticulously reviewing the checkouts and the feedback from the week that just ended.
Learning from the previous guests.
Constantly. If anything was mentioned in a review, even something small like a squeaky door or a mattress that felt a bit too soft for someone, they prioritize getting it addressed before the next guest arrives on Monday. It's this continuous loop of improvement.
That makes sense. Always refining.
And they also use Sunday to update their resources. That digital guidebook might get updated with a newly discovered hidden beach near Palio Tifliki, or maybe they add a fantastic taverna recommendation that a recent guest shared.
Keeping the info current and valuable.
Exactly. Now, later in the day, they do try to carve out some personal time. Maybe they head to a Molofoy beach themselves or grab a coffee in Nia Iriklitsa. But, as they say, it's always with our phones nearby.
The reality of the job.
It is. Their philosophy seems to be that hosting isn't static, it evolves constantly, especially when you're genuinely passionate about providing these really exceptional experiences.
So, reflecting on this whole week, what does it all really tell us? I mean, this deep dive makes it pretty clear that Planbnb.gr is doing way more than just basic property management.
Oh, definitely. If you connect all these pieces to the bigger picture, they're not just managing buildings. They are meticulously curating entire guest experiences.
Yeah.
They really pride themselves on being more than just managers. They are, hosts, marketers, cleaners, photographers, emergency contacts, sometimes even temporary friends or local guides.
Wearing many hats.
So many hats. And every single day, every task is seen as a chance to improve, to build a stronger reputation for Kavala homes, and fundamentally to treat every guest like a VIP. Doesn't matter if it's a big family vacation at Vita Seaview, a romantic getaway at the panoramic penthouse, or someone doing a remote work stay at the urban flat.
That comprehensive, almost holistic approach seems to be what really sets them apart.
I think so.
Wow, what a journey through just 1 week in the life of these dedicated property hosts. We've really seen the sheer complexity, the incredible, almost obsessive attention to detail, and that crucial blend of high-tech efficiency and high-touch personal care that goes into making those vacation dreams actually happen.
Yeah.
It's definitely Definitely far more than just handing over a key, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. This deep dive really pulls back the curtain on all the unseen effort that goes into making an experience feel seamless, almost effortless for the guest. It makes you think, doesn't it, about all that invisible labor that contributes to a really successful, happy stay. And it highlights that, in today's world with so much information overload, the companies that truly thrive are the ones managing both the tangible stuff, the clean sheets, the working Wi-Fi, and the intangible, that feeling of being cared for, that personal connection.
It's well put.
And it really raises an important question, I think, maybe for any property manager listening right now. If hosts are spending so much valuable time on these incredibly varied, high-value tasks we've discussed, where might they still be wasting time? What specific parts of their operations could potentially be automated even further to truly free them up for what arguably matters most, that irreplaceable human connection and the strategic oversight?
That is a fantastic question to leave people with, something to really mull over. The next time you check into a vacation rental, you might just find yourself thinking a little differently about the invisible orchestrators working hard behind the scenes to make it all seem so easy. We really hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of property hosting. And as always, we invite you to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning with us.